Hey, stop giving talks that make you busy and start giving talks that make you money. In my brand new limited series podcast, Public Speaking Monetization Tips, I'll show you exactly how to use speaking to grow your business, attract high-end quality clients, and get paid, even from no-fee gigs. So if you're serious about turning your message into income, search Public Speaking Monetization Tips on your favorite podcast platform and hit play today. Welcome back to Be in Demand, and this is the final episode of 2025. It's hard to believe that another year has come and gone so quickly, and yet so many lessons have been learned for me, and I've been able to also highlight them for my clients and the different group programs that I run. If you are new here and this is your first episode, welcome to Be in Demand. This is the podcast all about how to leverage public speaking opportunities as your best form of marketing and also to showcase your expertise, whether you are an online coach or you are working in corporate. Speaking is the one way that you can really connect with people and lead the way into 2026. So today I want to just share a little bit about what has happened this year and some questions for you to be considering. One thing that I noticed is that when TED Talks kind of came around, there began this trend, especially with the conferences and meeting planners, wanting the shorter speeches, punchier. But the problem with that is that they were just so surface level. And I know that myself, I always said no to these because being able to really connect with my audience and go deep with them has always been really important to me. One of the things that I always tell meeting planners and my clients is that my goal is that the audience always walks away with something they can implement right away. Nothing that's going to take weeks to actually put into action. And with a TED Talk, it can be very surface level, or you're just going to, in the in-demand signature speech methodology, you have the opportunity to go for 3 points deep. With a TED Talk and or a TED-likes talk that's a very short, condensed, you may not be able to do like those 3 tips. So being able to go deep is something that I saw come back this year, and I predicting that it's going to come back even deeper next year. One of the things I noticed for myself and also for a lot of my clients were the type of speaking opportunities that did show up for them. And not every opportunity had a budget to pay for their speakers, but we approached things differently. And I got a lot of my clients to get on meetings, step away from emailing back and forth to solidify the event, to solidify the agreement. And what happened was my clients actually made more money because they found out different pieces of information that you just can't always get from an email because you're face to face with somebody on Zoom or actually going to their office. I have flown to offices to have conversations with the committee, with the people who are putting the event together. Yes, it's an investment of time and money, but it always has worked out for me because being in front of people is where you start to create that experience for the committee. Now, remember, I always say as a speaker, you are creating an experience for your audience, for whoever's listening to you, and you are also creating an experience for the people who are bringing you in, who are booking you. I also saw a lot of events not trying to become ginormous, having smaller, intimate meetings. One of the benefits of having a smaller audience is you really get to connect with each and every person that's in the room. And with bigger conferences, there's people who are sitting in the back of the room that because of the lights, because of the situation, you may not see them. But to be able to really connect with people before and after you're on stage is so beneficial. So I got invited onto a number of different stages and I just started to ask different questions. And I think that when you are a solopreneur, You're able to ask different questions when you start to see different trends. Now, if you're in corporate, because I do help a lot of corporate people with their speaking and presentation skills, because this is an amazing form of strategic networking to help you become the only person that they are considering when that next big opportunity opens up. So being able to pivot because you're seeing a different trend is one of the benefits of being a speaker, of being an entrepreneur, of being a careerist, being able to see what's happening so that you can incorporate that into your speaking and into the experience that you are trying to create for others. So the other thing about all these different opportunities that came for me is I didn't say yes to them all because I got a little bit more discerning. Whereas what I notice with a lot of my newer clients, if they're newer to speaking, they have a tendency to want to say yes. Yes, because they're trying to do the reps, and yes to the experience. And I'm all for that. But I started to get them to ask different questions. So I didn't say yes to everything. And I told my clients when they were sharing with me about the different opportunities, I asked them different questions so that they could decide for themselves if this was the right stage for them to get onto. Now, even podcasts and even private masterminds, I asked different questions. I did not say yes to every podcast interview that came my way because we do some homework. And there are some boxes that just need to be checked. And sometimes all those boxes get checked, but it's just, I have to go by my gut. So the point is that I don't say yes to everything. And I don't think that you should either. I want you to make sure that you are on the right stages, the stages that are going to build your credibility, that you're going to be able to do a rep, that you're going to learn from, but most importantly, an audience that you're going to be able to serve. That is the most important thing. You've heard people talk about this trust economy, and I believe it's because of the explosion of AI, because deep down inside, people know AI did this. AI is creating this. This isn't a real video. Some human did not write this post. We are trusting our instinct and turning away. And unfortunately, what I believe that this means is that we're also turning away from the real stuff also, or we're questioning the real stuff as well. Is this real? Can I trust this? And this is why I think that speaking is going to be so valuable as we move into 2026, because AI can't replace you on stage. AI can't replace that handshake, that discussion before or after you're speaking when somebody comes up to you to ask you a question. AI can't replace that. And you being able to answer those questions on the spot, and that is another skill that you need to put yourself in those situations where you are being asked questions. And one of the best things you can do, silently record yourself so that you can listen to it later and evaluate it. And this sort of ties back to what I say, that speaking comes in many different shapes and sizes. But being able to get in front of human beings, people are craving that human to human interaction. They want to attend live events. They want to attend smaller events, but they're still in person. And why is this so important with this trust economy is that people need to feel that they can trust you. They need to hear that they can trust you. They need to hear that you're an expert. They need to know deep down inside in their gut that you are the next step. And if you're not getting visible, if you're not showing up, if you're not building your brand, you're that missing step for people. Sure, they might be able to go find somebody else to help them, but they're probably going to flounder. They're going to make some mistakes. You are that next step. So stop questioning if your story is good enough, if your solutions are good enough, and stop questioning whether or not you're enough of an expert. You are the expert that so many people need. I mean, I work in an industry where there are so many other people. There are so many choices. I don't worry about competition. I don't worry about being compared because the right people are going to show up for me. The right people are booking sales calls with me because they want to work with me. And the same thing is going to work for you. But this also comes down to building your personal brand. And I was just talking to another young woman who wants to be a keynoter. And I asked her about her lifestyle, her business model, how she works with clients, because all of these things intertwine and they all work together. But you've got to be able to get visible to the right people. So, how are you with getting visible on the daily? Getting present daily, letting your audience see you. Building your brand is going to be so darn important in 2026. So if it's not something that you've done yet, I want to encourage you to seriously consider doing it next year and not in the later part of the year. I want you to start right away. And if this is something that you're having trouble with or you're not even sure, you want a plan, you want a path, whether you are in corporate or you're working in the online space as an entrepreneur, book a speaker success call with me. That link will be down below. During that call, I will share with you the different ways that I work with clients. And because this building your personal brand and speaking is going to become so important next year, I've opened up a couple of more slots to work with me one-on-one. That link will be down below. So I hope that you'll take advantage of this and start planning out the year. Start the year off on the right foot. And we're going to be talking about in the next episode, which will be the first solo episode of 2026, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what I believe that you should be doing because new habits. Let's start the year off on the right foot. And I'm going to share with you right now, and I'll dive a little bit deeper into it next time. But from my executive leadership days, whenever I started working with clients, I would share with them, like, stop trying to do all of these things at once. Let's just take one habit each month and let's get really good at, we're just going to focus on that one habit. And then we're going to compound it with another habit the following month. By the end of 12 months, you're going to have 12 different habits, but you focused on one at a time, and then it became second nature. So it was easy to add the second habit. That's what we'll talk about next week. So until next week, I want you to have a wonderful new year, celebrate wisely, enjoy the newness, and be in demand. Hey, before you go, do you want to learn how to turn every talk into clients and cash? Well, check out my brand new limited series podcast, Public Speaking Monetization Tips. You'll learn how to find speaking opportunities, monetize every stage, and use your voice as your most powerful marketing tool. Whether you're a coach, a consultant, or an expert, this series will help you speak smarter, not harder. Search for Public Speaking Monetization Tips on your favorite podcast app and start listening today.